Hey, my name is Jesus Castello, and in this video I want to answer one simple question. Why is it hard for you to learn, and how you can learn faster and better? Let's do this. So I got this idea that I call levels of understanding or levels of learning. It's called Bloom's Taxonomy. And it shows you the different levels that you can go through for understanding one specific concept or idea. Now, we have 3 levels here. The first one is remembering. What this means is that in order to be able to understand, first you need to be able to remember. So remember comes before understanding. And being able to apply something in different situations, then you need to understand. So this is the order in which you will learn the best. So why is this useful? Well, first, this order in itself is already helpful because it tells you that if you can't apply something, then that's probably because you don't fully understand it. And if you aren't able to understand something, it's probably because you're missing some facts, some definition, some information about the thing that you're trying to understand. So that's why it's important. And when you're learning, notice these things. Is it that I can't apply this? Or is it that I don't understand it? Or maybe is it that there are parts that I don't remember? There's some concept I don't remember. Maybe I don't remember the syntax. If you don't remember the syntax for something, then like an if statement, then you can possibly understand how to use an if statement if you don't remember the syntax, right? So I know it sounds kind of simple, but this is what, for a lot of people, keeps them stuck in the way of learning something. So there are some techniques that you can use when you find out that you're having problems with memorizing, with remembering something. And here is where you have to take personal responsibility as the student. You can't expect the teacher or someone else to do everything for you. I can't learn for you. I can teach you. I can give you techniques. I can show you concepts, ideas, insights. But I can do the actual work for you, right? It's like I can do the exercise. If you want to get fit, I can do the exercise for you. You have to actually do the things and take responsibility. What it means is that you have to, while you're learning, you look for these things. And then if you are feeling weak in your memorization, then you can do things about that. What things can you do? Well, for example, you can use flashcards. Flashcards help you with remembering things. What's another technique? Well, another technique that's also well studied and we know that works is called spaced repetition. Spaced repetition. That also goes along with flashcards because spaced repetition means that you review something, you review the definition or the ideas, what you learn, you review it in specific intervals. So that can be maybe you review after 1 day, then you review after 1 week, then you review after 2 weeks, something like that, right? You can also look this up. It sounds interesting. This often combined with flashcards, but it doesn't have to. Right? You can do this individually if you want. And another thing that you can do for remembering is you can use memory training and techniques. So there are techniques that you can use to remember things, and there are also courses on memory training and things like that. And you can even take memory supplements to help you. So if you use a combination of these things and you try it more than once, don't just try it once and say, oh, it doesn't work. You have to try it multiple times in different ways and make sure you are doing it correctly, following instructions, right? And then that, when you do these things, that will help you with the remembering. So that's remembering. Now, understanding, once you remember, then you are able to understand, right? So for understanding, this is where the most quantitative techniques and most qualitative techniques you can find. So if your problem is understanding and not remembering, then you are in good luck today, because there are lots and lots of techniques to help you understand. So let's review just a few of my favorites, but remember there are many more than this. So the first one is to use mind maps. Okay? And mind maps, I can draw a mini mind map right here for you. Mind map looks like this. It has the topic on the middle, and then it branches out like that. And then these other nodes are more topics that branch out from that. Okay, so that's what a mind map looks like. And you can do just paper and a pencil to do this. You don't need some fancy software, although you can find it if you want. But just with paper and pencil, and in fact, if you do it in paper, it helps you even more to remember when you actually write things down with your hand. Okay? So that's a mind map, and the good thing about mind maps is that it's how your mind works. That's why it's called mind map. It's how your mind works, by connecting things. So that's what a mind map is. Use it to help you understand how things are connected. Next thing is asking questions. So asking questions is not only asking questions to others. So this doesn't mean that you only ask questions to me or to other Ruby developers or whoever. It means that also you ask questions about the topic that you are learning. You ask questions to yourself about the topic that you are learning. For example, you can ask, what's an array? What's an array useful for? In what situations would I use an array? What are the different operations that I can do with an array? Things like that. Why is an array useful? These kinds of questions help you understand more deeply the topic. And finally, on this section of understanding, is another very important tool or technique that you can use, and that's compare and categorize. And let me explain. I will make a whole video about this because I think it's very important. But the big idea here is that you take whatever concept you're learning about, for example, arrays, and then you first categorize it. And what that means is that you find in what categories is this. So for example, arrays is a part of a bigger group. That's the category. And the bigger group is data structure. It's called data structures. You can look that up as well. Find out what are data structures, what kind of data structures exist. And then once you know the category or the group in which this is put, then you can compare it with others. So comparing, what does that mean? It means that you are finding what's the same and what's different. So in the category, in the group of data structures, we have arrays, but we also have hashes. So in here, you ask questions about sameness and difference. What's the same between an array and a hash? And what's different between an array and a hash? And that will help you understand what's special about arrays. Why do arrays exist? So all of these things help you get a deeper understanding of the topic. I give you a bonus one, which is teach it to someone else. If you teach what you learn to somebody else, that also helps you develop a deeper understanding. Or even just thinking about how would I explain this to someone else. Even if you don't actually do it, you think, how would I explain this? What do I need to explain this about this so it's understood by somebody else? Okay? So that's understanding, and that's the techniques that you can apply. Remember, here is where you take personal responsibility as a student to apply these techniques, to learn more about them, and find out what works for you. The last step in these levels of understanding process is to apply something. Once you remember and you understand it, then you're ready to apply it. So what does it mean to apply something? Well, that depends on the domain that you're working on. So if you're working in physics or mathematics, then applying it means using the formulas, right? Use these formulas on different situations. In programming, it means coding. It means actually getting into writing the code. And this doesn't have to be a full-on project. I see that a lot of people get stuck on, I need a project. No, you don't. You just have to get started playing with the code, for example, on IRB and Pry. Just open IRB and Pry, which let you type code and try it out and see what happens. And you try it out with different inputs and try it out in different ways and see what happens, how it works, and all of that. Another thing you can do is coding challenges. So coding challenges, notice the word challenge, right? It's supposed to be a challenge, and also if you're getting started, you want to find the easiest one. If you go to a coding challenges site, usually they're ranked by easy, hard, medium, things like that. If you're getting started, look for the easiest ones, because a lot of these require computer science and other advanced concepts that you are probably not familiar with. You can also create your own coding challenges if you want. So that's another thing. And the last option in apply is small projects. So you don't need a mega project to actually do this, but small projects help you do something very important, which is to integrate different concepts, different Ruby methods, different classes together to do something helpful. And if you look for small project ideas or things that you want to do, things that you want to automate, remember that Ruby is not limited to Rails. That's very important. With Ruby, you can build all kinds of projects. I made another video where I explain a few ideas of what you can do with Ruby without Rails. So that's the levels of understanding or levels of learning. I hope you actually apply this into the video itself. So go and remember what you learned in this video, then understand it, and finally apply it to your own learning process for Ruby and other things. Okay? So that's it for this video. Please click the like button for me so I know that you like it. And watch more of my videos on this channel right now if you want to learn more. Also, visit my website, rubyguides.com. In there you will find a lot of Ruby articles to help you learn Ruby. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now so you can get more videos like this. Because we're going to be going beyond just Ruby and just the basics that you can find on other places. We're going to be learning more about learning, and we're going to be looking at different Ruby methods and Rails methods that are hard to understand, and I'm going to show you how to make them easier to understand. So thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in the next video.